Welcome back to another episode of Motogp Mac, and today we're going to talk about Marc Marquez's comments about his crash in Jerez. Now, speaking after the race, Marc said, "It was a mistake and we need to learn about it to try and avoid this type of mistake for the future if we want to fight for the championship. We have a lot of speed, but unlike in Austin I understood why I crashed, but today I really don't understand it. I need to analyze it because I was not attacking. I was just cruising like I do in the first races behind them because I know the second part of the race is my strong point. But it's like this. We need to accept it. Just maybe, but I haven't yet checked the data. Maybe I was 1 or 2 more degrees banked over on angle. I was behind 2 riders, and maybe it was the first time this weekend I was riding behind other riders. Maybe the bike's balance changed a bit. I didn't really think about it. So, for this reason, I made the mistake. The important thing though is the speed is there. Just need to avoid the mistakes. Of course, if you don't have the pace and you crash, you have 2 things to fix. The crash and the pace. But the pace is there. Just need to avoid making these type of mistakes. Of course, the second part of the race is always my strong point. But I do need to try and learn for the future. Outside of this drama, we're only 1 point behind the championship leader, which is the most important thing. Now, I think Marc is right here on that. Look, at the end of the day, his race was kind of run in the first couple of laps. He did very, very well to battle back to score points, finish in 12th place, which is no easy feat. A couple of times, all right, I did think, is this history repeating himself? And if you do remember the last time he had a crash in the opening couple of laps in Jerez, or went off in Jerez, he had another bigger accident later on while trying to push and recover. So it's kind of keeping my fingers crossed that nothing bad would happen to him. But again, what he's saying with the mistakes, he doesn't understand the mistake. And I'm sure later on today or over this week, Ducati will have an answer to what was the difference between that and other laps to try and help Marc understand, because if you have a crash that you don't understand, it's very hard to put that out of your head. And again, I can't help but feel for Marc, with the crash in Austin and the crash here. It's definitely 50 points lost down the drain. It is making the championship a little bit closer, but again, you do think the likes of Marc will be able to stretch that lead out again should Pecco not have an answer after the test that happened this week. But I would definitely love to know your thoughts. What do you think of Marc Marquez's comments? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.